Today you're going to learn 4 more capital letters that begin with the cane stroke. Let's take a look at the first one, the capital letter K. It begins at the headline with a vertical loop, then curves forward and slants to the baseline. Lift your pencil, begin again at the headline with a double curve, over, then under, with a loop touching the cane stroke at the midline, and then pulling down slightly to the right to the baseline, and under curve for the finish. Vertical loop, slant, over, under, slant, and finish. Now I'll write the capital letter K on my paper for you. Beginning at the headline with the vertical loop, curving forward and slanting to the baseline, then going back to the headline and over, under, with a loop, then slant and an under curve to the headline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and make the capital letter K as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Lift your pencil. Now over, under, loop, slant, and under curve for the finish. Check your writing position. Make sure you're sitting correctly and holding your paper and pencil correctly. Put your pencil at the headline and let's write the capital letter K. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Lift your pencil to the headline, over, under, loop, slant, under curve to the midline for the finish. We can write the capital letter K to the numerical count of 3. Watch as I do that. The cane stroke, the vertical loop, and curving and the slant is 1. The over, under is 2. Then the loop, slant, and under curve for the finish is 3. Put your pencil at the headline and I will count for you as you make your second capital K. Ready? Begin. 1. Lift your pencil. 2. 3. We can use the capital letter K to write the girl's name, K. Watch as I do that. Beginning with the vertical loop, curving forward and slant, then the double curve over, under, loop, slant, now under, over for the A, around, close, slant, now over, slant, under curve, slant to the descender, and an over curve for the finish to the midline. I'd like for you to put your pencil at the headline and write the name K. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Lift your pencil, over, under, loop, slant, now under, come up for the A, over, curve back around, come up and close, slant, the Y, over curve, slant, under curve, now slant to the descender, over curve, closing at the baseline, and an over curve for the finish to the midline. Now check yours as it appears again. First the capital letter K, and this one connects with the rest of the word, then the A, and then the Y, and the finish. The next letter that you're going to learn is the capital letter N. Let's take a look at it. It begins at the headline with a vertical loop, curves forward slightly, and slants to the baseline. Then it retraces to slightly above the midline, then an over curve and a slant back down to the baseline and an under curve to the midline for the finish. Loop, slant, retrace, over curve, slant, under curve. Now watch as I write the capital letter N on the board. Beginning with the cane stroke, which is the vertical loop, curve forward and slant, then a retrace to slightly above the midline, an over curve and a slant to the baseline, and an under curve to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and make a capital letter N as I trace this one. Ready? begin. Vertical loop, then slant, retrace, over curve, slant, and under curve to the midline for the finish. Check your writing position, make sure you're sitting correctly. Put your pencil at the headline, and let's make the end. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Retrace, over curve, slant, under curve. We can make the capital letter N to the count of 2. Watch as I do that. The cane stroke is number 1. Then the retrace, over curve, slant, and finish is number 2. Put your pencil at the headline, and I will count for you as you make your second capital N. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, and finish. Now I'd like for you to watch as the capital letter N is used in the name Nancy. And I want you to notice that this capital N is connected to the rest of the word. Look at the connections carefully and ending in the Y with an overcurve for the finish. The next letter that you're going to learn is the capital letter M. Let's take a look at it. It begins at the headline with a vertical loop, curve forward and slant, just like the N, then a retrace to slightly above the midline, an overcurve and a slant, then a retrace to not quite as high this time, an overcurve slant, and an undercurve to the midline for the finish. Let's look at it again. Loop, slant, retrace, overcurve, slant, retrace, overcurve, slant, and finish. Now watch as I make the capital letter M on the board. Beginning with the cane stroke again with the vertical loop, curve forward and slant. Then we retrace to slightly above the midline, then an overcurve and a slant back down to the baseline. This time a retrace that's not quite as tall, and an overcurve and a slant back down to the baseline, and an undercurve to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and make the capital letter M as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Retrace, overcurve, slant. Retrace, overcurve, slant, and undercurve to the midline for the finish. Now put your pencil at the headline and let's make the capital letter M. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant. Now retrace, overcurve, slant. Retrace, overcurve, slant, and undercurve to the midline for the finish. We can do the capital letter M to the count of 3. Watch as I do that. The cane stroke is number 1, then the retrace, the overcurve and the slant would be number 2, then the next retrace, overcurve, slant, and finish would be number 3. Put your pencil at the headline and let's make the capital letter M as I count for you. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, and finish. Check your M. Look at my M. Check to see that you started at the headline, that you closed your vertical loop, and that you pulled down to the baseline, then that you retraced up to just above the midline, like you do for the N also, then an overcurve and a slant. Then another retrace to slightly below the midline, an overcurve, a slant, and an undercurve to the midline for the finish. Notice that the 2 parts of the M are not the same height. Now I would like for you to watch as this letter is used in the word Monday. First the capital M, and this letter also connects with the rest of the word. The D, the A, and then finishes with the letter Y and an overcurve, Monday. The next letter that you're going to learn is the capital letter U. Watch as I make it. It begins with the cane stroke, the vertical loop, curve forward and slant, then an undercurve up to halfway between the midline and the headline, then a slant and retracing, and an undercurve up to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and write the capital letter U as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, overcurve, slant, undercurve up, now slant and undercurve to the midline. Put your pencil at the headline and let's make the capital letter U. Ready? Begin. Vertical loop, curve forward, slant, undercurve, continue up, retrace as you slant to the baseline and undercurve to the midline for the finish. We can make the capital letter U to the count of 2. Watch as I do that. The cane stroke is 1, and then the undercurve, the slant, and the finish is 2. Put your pencil at the headline and I'll count for you. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, and finish. Check your U to see that you started at the headline, that you closed your loop, pulled down to the baseline, and then an undercurve up to halfway between the midline and the headline, then a retrace as you come back down, and undercurve to the midline for the finish. Watch as the letter U is used in the word unicorn. First we have a capital letter U, and it is connected to the rest of the word. This word would not necessarily have to be capitalized, but it's a good one for us to practice. Watch as it finishes, and then dot the I. The unicorn is a mythological horse with one horn. I would like for you to practice the 4 capital letters that you learned today, and to remember that when you use them in words, the capital letter is connected to the rest of the letters.